So now, all right, episode 36 of Rubber Down. Binny is here. It's just Binny and I tonight. OG type of pod. We've been at Dubbo City Speedway for New South Wales Sprintcar Series round one. Great trip. Got to bring the kids along as well. That was ripper. But of course, before we dive into that, today's pod and all Rubber Down and Code Man is brought to you by Eliminator Racewings. Eliminator Race Wings are Australian manufactured with recessed rivets for extra strength.
Manufactured with 6061 T6 aluminium for lightweight and strength. Sprint car top wings, dished and flat, along with front wings.
They also have Formula 500 wings now available.
Eliminator race wings available Australia-wide.
BHR Fabrications in Brisbane, Par Motorsports in Melbourne, 16 Industries in Sydney, Sprint Car Parts Australia in Perth, and Peter Radford in Tasmania. Bit of 6-7. Bit of 6-7. We're back into it. All right, Binny man. Cool trip on the weekend. This phone needs to go shushies. Okay, back on the weekend, we went together. Sorry, we'll restart. Down to Dubbo City Speedway, well, Midland, wherever it is from Sydney. It's like up over Bathurst way. I got to bring the kids and my beautiful fiance. We all did a big road trip together. That was really cool. Always love when I get to, have the kids around the night. And I did commentating. That was pretty cool. It's my third time ever doing commentary. I did ACT and Dubbo and Nowra before that. I don't know, but this one felt a little bit different or a bit more... Because of it, there was a live stream. Yeah. So with the other ones weren't live stream, I felt like the other ones I could just, if there was a bit of dead air, like, oh, okay, it's a bit quiet or I don't have to talk. Well, this time was like, okay, well, I got to get talking. But yeah, man, like your first, before we get into that, your first thoughts on Dubbo City Speedway.
Wicked. Like, that place
100%.
Is insane. Real technical track.
Mm-hmm.
It really brought out the guys that I feel as though are light on their foot, so they're not like that track. You can't be full pelt around the whole thing unless you're ripping the top like Ali Sadar did in that heat race.
Yeah.
Then maybe, but it's a cool place, and obviously that's only the fourth or fifth speedway I've been to, or sixth speedway I've been to.
You're a rookie on the tracks.
Yeah, so I haven't been to a lot of tracks. So, but it gives parts of it give that sort of Bunbury vibe.
That's what we talked about, yeah.
And then it's hard to explain, but it sort of gives you that sort of. It almost feels like it's a full circle, not even like it doesn't feel like there's much of a straight because they're sideways, still sideways, catching it, going down the straight, and then they're throwing it into the next corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool place, and obviously it was a good night of racing. Shame to see the lower, like the support categories, like those production sedans and stuff like that, not get big numbers. But I feel that
one of the things I wanted to touch on, bro. Like, they helped the track, but I don't know. Like, they could have just put them all together, and the night could have been 2 hours early finished.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Even some people in the stands, I swear to God, I went up there once, and they were like watching one car go around or two cars, and I was like, wait, what? Like, because I was only there to commentate sprint cars, I wouldn't even know anything about sedans, but. Like, that would be my only knock was, like, I understand they're trying to give them all their own race and all that type of stuff. But it's like, you got to think about the fan the stands. Like, it didn't finish till 10:30 still. And plus, with, like, that feature with the tow truck, even, we were talking to Sean, the big manager there. He was like, yeah, well, normally we have a way better tow truck, but that's all we could get tonight. And, like, he was a bit upset with that. But, yeah, besides those two things, but, yeah, what were you going to say about the sedans?
Yeah, I just wish they had bigger car counts. Just to put on a better race for them. Like, I think one of the classes they were calling it on the night ended up with 2 cars in the feature race.
I think 2 packed up, remember? Like, there was 3 and then 2 packed up. They didn't even, and they literally sent him out on his own. And I was like,
yeah.
What are we, like,
So
I don't
yeah,
know. That was a bit silly, I thought.
yeah, especially when you've got categories like the wingless that can bring 40, 45 cars every week. Doesn't matter where
Hmm.
they travel, they just like racing. But
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
sure what happened with their supports. Like, I think they were supposed to have a few more, and then it didn't work out, or whatever. But I think like that track, like I can't, I can't express how much I've really enjoyed the racing. It's a top and a bottom. Like, I've been to a few other tracks where they get way more sprint car racing, and it's nowhere near as good as that. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? And so my big thing is like I honestly think I think my mum's a big one. Always says this. Everything happens for a reason. I honestly think Dubbo getting these type of more cracks. Man, once Sydney get their things going, there's no reason why with the other New South Wales tracks in Sydney we could not we could have a little Maddington started. Like it has to start somewhere. I
yeah,
don't think we can have this 16 Sydney International show anymore.
no,
Because it doesn't have the history of what Parramatta was. Like Parramatta just had so much history and it just kept building and building and building. And Parramatta was the Perth Motorplex of Australia at that time. Like the
yeah,
best racing with the Parramatta. Yeah, the facilities weren't Perth Motorplex, but it was the best track in a country by so much. That's why the car counts were there. The car counts aren't there because of the location of it, like everyone keeps saying, because the
yeah,
car counts would have been there if even the track was half shit, but they weren't. Do you know what I mean? Like, we would have had 60 cars at Sydney all the time,
yeah.
international, even if the track wasn't that good, but because of the location, it wasn't. It was about the track and the place and the people running it, and you seen it always had the big commentators there. Stu was awesome for so many years. Then it had Wade. Then you'd even get like nights like Matt Nolte would show up there before he got
Mhm.
into his supercars. And so, what I'm getting to here is just I honestly think and I don't know what they're doing with this power tour. I don't know what the tracks have to do. But if they were worried about Sydney and they want to divert it, take it to Dubbo and then go back to Queensland. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. Like if the drivers always complain about teams, like let's say you're a Brisbane team, it's 20 hours, bro, to go to either Perth or Warrnambool.
yeah,
Dubbo's in between that. Canberra's in between that. Nowra's in between that. Yeah, I know probably the Nowra and Canberra's aren't going to get that big of a field or class. Nowra, I think, could turn on something. I'm not sure how Canberra would handle a lot more sprint cars than what it already has. Um, but yeah, even like Nowra or Dubbo got more cracks. They need more shows to show and learn what they're doing with sprint cars on the track. Sprint cars are so abrasive to a racetrack, like
yeah,
no other division. Like I do think, like on these, tracks like a Dubbo, like I think the sedans help them so much because they, instead of doing a prac trip, you send the sedans out, gives them moisture and stuff like that. We always see that, and I think
yeah.
that was another great thing on the weekend. We didn't have a lot of sedans or support, but track slicking off in the middle where it needed to. It started pushing up. Like I wasn't on the fence, but it's definitely a curb to lean on if the boys wanted to, as we've seen. And every driver and team had nothing bad to say about the place.
No,
Like I don't think like unless you want to nitpick little things like maybe those other support classes like we did, but that's just us being honest, being commentating, making content. And I had young kids in the stands. My fiance was there. They fell asleep early. She was like literally felt like she was on her own for like 3 hours because they fell asleep so early and whatever. Um, but yeah, I think tyre wear, everyone was stoked. You could have probably used a brand new tyre from hot laps onward and used it all night. Um, yeah, I just think Dubbo needs more of a crack. Like when I was watching
100%.
the feature, bro, I just honestly was like, man, I would love to see a 40 to just a big quality number field there, like your McHughes, your Goodyears, your Hallets, some of the Perth guys, Williamson, Kingshot, Frosts, Peskas, all your Queensland guys that weren't there, Luke Oldfield, and anyway,
Newton.
yeah, Newton, McFadden. You can I just think the place it's big and like it's a for me. You go to tracks, it's a sprint car track.
A
Like
hundred
it's
percent.
you know what I mean. Like it deserves to have sprint cars. It's so big. There's so much room for passing. It's I honestly think it's a hidden gem right now, Dubbo. It's
Yeah.
such a hidden. The town's good. Like I think sprint cars coming to the town, like you said, like you got the zoo. If family wants to hang around, the Big Dubbo Zoo. There's nice golf courses there. There's a million pubs. Like there was a million hotels. Like we had to pick between. Like there's a lot to have a big event there, and I just think if we get in the swing of things, and I know it's political, like tracks have to pay for this, and I don't know if Dubbo has that funding to join in a big series. But I think like we got to, if we're trying to grow the East Coast and sprint car racing, we need to look at these places and go, how about we help them out instead of just trying to take?
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
vibe, you know. Like it's always about take of all these series and all that stuff. I think from what I've heard, but yeah, we just got a really good opportunity, I think, for a series here in New South Wales and the East Coast. Like
Yeah.
literally, you know, we got so many tracks. Instead of we complain about driving Toowoomba, then all the way to Warrnambool. How about we look what's in between? Yeah, everyone says, oh, Sydney's not in between. But you know it. You worked at Parramatta. How many years did World Series miss Parramatta Speedway?
I think, yeah, for the first probably 5, 6 years, they weren't there.
100%. Like, and that was even before that. I remember as a
Yeah.
kid, like the one of the only times I seen World Series was when I think Mitchell Dumsney and Rafari, like he got crashed over the line and he beat the World Series, like Mitchell Dumsney and the Eagle 177 or something. Like I'm
Yeah.
going way back now, but I think that's like one of the times where they had it, then it went away again. Like you never
Yeah.
seen them, and you never seen World Series there because over Christmas they'd be up at Brisbane or then go down the Speed Week. But
Yeah.
again, like that was just like it was more Parramatta going, "Mm, we don't really need you, bro. Like
Yeah.
we don't need the National Series." Where I think these other tracks do need them, but they need to also be fair income about instead of just taking from the track. How about you just look at it as, hey, this is another round you're getting. Go and give this track, or maybe if the best teams and crews and all these great sprint car minds are there on the night, say if it doesn't go to plan, they could give feedback to these tracks and go, hey, I think we could have rewarded it there, we could have regraded it there, or you know, and like they don't know unless we get more laps on these type of tracks, and that's no different to Sydney. Like I feel like Sydney went through a change of how many changes and track services and banking, and then the new managers come in and we changed it again, and I feel
Yeah.
like instead of we easing into it, we just went 100 mile an hour, 20 shows one year, and it felt like over the climate of Sydney, weather getting hot, then not hot or whatever, they didn't really have a chance to like test the character of the clay in the track. It was just, oh, it's crap because it kept
Yeah.
blowing away, you know. So that was
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. And you look at like again, you sort of go back. Maddington is your sort of lead series in Australia at the
It
moment.
is
It is.
just
There's no other series that is even close. You've got that sort of USC series that runs, but
yeah, but
I
that's
would,
just a Toowoomba now. That's just Toowoomba.
yeah, that's
It's
just
like a
Toowoomba.
track championship in a way,
Yeah,
but it's not. I don't know how they do that, whatever, but
but you look at the rounds Maddington did last year at Bunbury. That first night we were there, the first night after High Limits.
it was
That night,
shocking.
that night was horrible, and
Yeah.
even the guys from the track and everyone over there would tell you it was a horrible night.
Yeah.
It was just it was rough from qualifying from the moment they went out on track for hot laps. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And then we went back there that second night. Everyone was dreading it.
Yeah, they
You
were.
were
No
walking
one was
around.
happy about being there. Yeah.
Yeah, you were walking around the pits in Perth the night, but or 2 nights before or whatever it was, and they were all dreading going there. We went there that night, and it
Remember
was
the
probably
meeting? It was a meeting. Like, hey, are we even going there and stuff? Like, it was pretty full on.
yeah, and we went there, and it actually put on some really cool racing. Brox Eophos led majority of the feature race there, and then Kerry just absolutely dominated the rest of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's you can't just take a track from one night. Like
Agreed, but you can't
you,
even just like you can't. Let's say Sydney's gun blazing again. You can't then go, oh, we're going to Dubbo.
yeah,
Well, do we want more racing or not? Like, I don't know. Like, I do understand teams' frustration of how much prize money they're racing for versus the diesel cost and like no crap. Like, you can understand that. 2.5 grand is probably not what most teams are going to turn their trucks on for.
Yeah.
But thank God the other teams did, and I thought it was a ripper event. And yeah, I'm only nitpicking a little bit, but everything else about Dubbo, I can't thank them enough for the commentary opportunity. I had so much fun. The drivers put on a really good show. Um, but yeah, these type of as well, like these tracks aren't used to, even probably the fan base is for these tracks, and when they bring big crowds, isn't used to, let's say, the track getting dusty and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So like I seen comments on Facebook like the infield was a bit dry and then that got dusty. And they're like, oh, it was a bit dusty, like in that way. And I'm like in my head, well, man, you're lucky it didn't go slick. Like you're complaining about that. That's like 20 seconds of dust, bro. Like, I get it. They could have watered it. They could have done that type of stuff. But I don't know. Like, if you're either a diehard sprint car fan, you don't like dust, or people just hate dust.
Yeah.
I'm a weird thing with that. Like, I'll sit there all night and get peppered, and I'm like Happy Gilmore, 364 days to hockey trials. Like, just keep getting pumped. Or with anything that comes to me, unless it's a rock, well, that's different. But yeah, just little things like that. Oh, the other thing was Lachlan Corn's crash. Right, I seen people write this on social. When he hit the pole, it affected the wiring of the speakers on the back straight, so no one can hear my commentary on the back straight. So they probably either had a really good time not hearing me anymore, or they were like they didn't know what was going on,
Yeah.
like in that feature in the moment. So and that's not Dubbo's fault. He took a pole out nearly. Like it was, if it was any worse, I think the race was called, which would have been a shame. Like that, the place didn't. I was worried when he hit that pole. I was like, don't let this ruin a good night. That it's going to be a good feature. Do you know what I mean? It was very early.
Yeah.
Um, and we did call it no reds in Perth, and then we had like 8 stoppages. And them struggling with the tow truck, they pushed them away probably a bit too early, not knowing on a few times. But again, that's just I think I hope our video showed that Dubbo is wicked. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not about my commentary. It's just the footage, and that's where like we had that choice, and we were talking about it. Do we go to Avalon? Do we go Dubbo? And it was like, well, the weather, obviously the car count and whatever at Avalon was ripper, right? Like it
Yeah.
was good, strong East Coast field. But then it was like, the weather's not looking promising. And we already ran that risk last week with Perth. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. If I get to Avalon, it'll be Devo. Dubbo had no rain in sight. And I was like, you know what? One of my choices for sort of leading, us to go there was like, nah, Dubbo, like people need to see Dubbo because I only seen it on a really hooked up wet night type deal, and I didn't really get to see what it was. But I was like, damn, I wish I got to see what this place is for. And look, I've seen Avalon. We're going to beat Avalon again. Like you don't know with Dubbo, so I was like, we go make Dubbo look cool, and we didn't have to make it cool. It did it itself. Like it was just the only thing was the fucking flies.
Oh,
They were insane, bro.
mate, the amount that went up my nose throughout the night.
The flies were insane. So if you ever go to Dubbo, guys, take some Aerogard or whatever. Like, I think I remember it being that bad, but I didn't remember it until I got attacked again. And I was like, that's right, damn it. Flies everywhere. But, yeah, it was a ripping night. Mick Saller, 7 years was his last feature race. We got it done, but that'll bring it to our BK Racing Products performance of the night. It was Kinzer Claridge. He was ripping, bro. He won
Yeah.
hot laps. I know people say you don't win hot laps, but he had a red hot crack. Then his heat, he was moving forward fast. I think he gapped the field in one of his first heats. He just, it was like, oh, you know it, Binny, when you're watching a heat that heats early in the night, and you're like, he's on the night. He's on the
Yeah.
night. He was one of the cars that by far stood out as like, he's going to be near the pointy end tonight. Doesn't matter. He's dash draw and that. Yeah, he was going good in the dash. Got a bit caught up in the war, as he said. Stepped on his genitals in the video. But yeah, the car he had, like Mick Saller had incredible pace out in front.
Mm.
But yeah, BK Performance Products Racing of the night, it's easily Kinzer Claridge, and you can vouch for that. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was insane. when he took the lead off Mick and
What a
was
pass.
unfortunate to get caught up in some lap cars, but before that, he was just like you were seeing the other cars sort of dip in and go down the low line to get around the corner, and he was just foot flat, straight through. He flew past Mick and just got around the corner. I don't know how,
Yeah.
but like absolutely ripping, and you could see how much pace he had over the rest of the field. And to see how excited he was when he crossed the line, we both looked at each other as he crossed the line, as he came around on the cool down lap, and you could hear him screaming in the car. His dad screaming on the infield wall. It was just
That
cool to
was
see them
that was
finally get a
his
result.
yeah, that was his first 410 podium ever.
Yeah,
So, I mean, awesome for Mick. I mean, they've been up and down the East Coast. They've let a few go, as he said. Like, I definitely think Mick could have had a few wins over the last 2 years.
yeah.
But yeah, even Luke Thomas, bro, running out of fuel, he had a great night as well. He could have been near the pointy end without that as well. I honestly think he would have been on the podium, Luke Thomas,
Yeah.
if he didn't run out of fuel. That car was electric. He was battling for the lead early with some cautions.
You did put a dying GoPro on his car, so maybe you're the problem here.
But we let the GoPro lasted all the way to the infield and then it shut off. So, but
As soon as
nah,
it ran out of juice, he ran out of juice.
yeah, he only had 48% before he rolled out or something. But no, I just wow, I was so stoked about the weekend, and it's just more like I do feel like if people want to see Dubbo, that video or that racing forever will go. No, that place deserves a crack, and I think they're back there for the New South Wales Sprintcar title on Boxing Day,
Yeah,
which I think for New South Wales title is a bit of an odd position because you're going to have all the guys on the West Coast at high limit, all the guys at East Coast probably at Speed Week at Murray Bridge, and the rest. But I don't know. It'll be a similar field to probably what was there on the weekend for that. So it's good. Like you got like we said, we always had Boxing Day at Parramatta, and there was just that good of a car count. So it's good. We'll get a New South Wales title winner. That is that's probably a New South Wales car, and probably be their first one, which
yeah.
will be wicked. Probably can't be there just because we can't be in 8 places at once. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a good New South Wales title. And probably slicking off sick around that time of the year, and I'm not sure what classes they get. But yeah, until we know what's going on with Sydney, because we have absolutely no idea. They've said trust the process, and now there is no process by the looks of it. So yeah, I've even talking to we were there, the officials and club people. They're even doing this. Like, so, I mean, I'm very frustrated. I mean, we are. But me, man, I'm just frustrated. My kid doesn't have, like, a Parramatta to go to right now. Like, he's at the age now, he's really into it. He's asking me all the time, Dad, can I come Speedway? Can I come with you? Can I come with you? You know, on the big travels, no. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just a wrong, it's just never been good management system from the start. And that's not even the people in it, like the Wilmingtons were in it or the Kellys before that, just from high above government, how they thought it was just going to run, but like was ludicrous and still probably is. So, but yeah, Dubbo, Ripper, Binny, besides Kings of Claridge, what was your takeaway from Dubbo? Like a performance or just something on the night?
Um, Gotta try and think here. Just the amount of like we said it in Perth. We've got a lot of the guys. It was their first hit out on
Yeah,
that
the
first night,
cobwebs. Yep.
and same again on the weekend. A lot of those guys, it was their sort of first hit out in the cars. And I feel as though a lot of them did really well. I felt for that that Queensland guy. His name slips
Oh,
my mind right.
Mick Saller.
No, the other one that his car didn't fire in both heat races. He went out
Oh
in the
no, he's not
B-main.
Queensland. He's New South Wales. Cooper Norman, the young fella.
Yes,
Yeah,
I felt for him because he went out for that B main and his car was
ripped.
ripping.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and
I
like
think
I just
he'll be a very good car. They're going to stick around to Toowoomba, he was saying. So
yeah
I think he keeps getting his craft there. He'll be probably I'm going to call it now probably the biggest underdog, but good story of the 2026-27 title at Toowoomba. Like, he'll be the one where I got a feeling he could maybe make the show with all the laps he's going to get by then. Like,
Yeah,
it looks like, well, you just see when a young guy gets in a car and he's handling it, he's not holding on. He
yeah.
is driving the car, and that's what he looked like through those bit of the races. And yeah,
And the noise when he finally got his car started for that B
yeah,
main,
agreed.
like the
Everyone was
crowd went
pumped.
off,
Yeah,
and like
poor.
it wasn't a massive crowd
It
at
was a good
Dubbo.
crowd
It
still.
was a good crowd, but
Yeah,
like the noise they made when he started it up, and you could see how frustrated he was throughout the
yeah,
night.
for sure.
And like to see it start up and him to just blitz the B main, I just had to feel sorry for him. I'm like, man, imagine if your night started better and he got up there
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he could have been up there in the feature race,
Yeah, I
but
reckon he could have been a sneaky top five. Like,
yeah,
I think so. And he did pull it on the infield. I think he still had a few more issues in the feature, just with timing, I think it was, and changing the exhaust over the weekend. They had to do like boxes and gonzos were allowed, and it was a bit of a late noticing, and they just how they prep their car. I think they're used to it Toowoomba, but no excuses. I'm not making any for him. It's just their team, and yeah, it's another good young New South Wales car, man, and that's a ripper to see. Uh, but yeah, so Dubbo's cool. They got a lot of shows coming up. I think it's Canberra is the next New South Wales meeting in 2 weeks, the 13th of December or something.
well,
Which
Canberra's
clashes
ACT, mate.
ACT Speedway, sure. But it's a New South Wales show, so there you go. Calm down. I didn't make the rules here, mate. Um, but yeah, so that'll be probably a similar car count to there. Maybe a little bit less because Canberra. Some people aren't for it, but it's a very tricky technical track, and last time it took a bit of rubber down, but hopefully it doesn't do that again. First night I went there was awesome. Avalon was on. Avalon was another track we thought about going to, but the weather just didn't look good for the travel, and yeah, it looked like a promising night, and then it rained like in the mid show, and watching the feature, Pestka, great performance too. You still got to get the job done at the start, but it was just every time you got a lap car, it bided in 5 laps because everyone was trying to run the same piece of track, and track was very narrow, but you got to race what you're on, and I think he did a ripper job, and he sort of like wasn't contested, like he owned the race. He was
Yeah,
not like the conditions made him win, like he still went out and dominated and won that race. Then you got Jamie Ville second, Brett Milburn third, and Jock Goodgie fourth. So it's one of those tracks you start anywhere outside first row or maybe 2 rows, you're gonna have a chance because the guys are just the same doing qualifying laps, in the feature, and the lap traffic is just like, get it, go back to your spot, get it, go back to your spot. So, yeah, it wasn't an amazing feature to watch. Let's be real. It was a bit of a okay snoozy. But yeah, the McHugh I think was about 10th in the Ramsey car. I haven't watched the whole night yet, like from heats and stuff, but just watched that feature. And again, it's just, I don't know, a bit of media. I didn't really hear much about the event at all. Like, and literally until I had to go and watch on Clay Review. I seen nothing on socials. When we were
yeah,
at Dubbo at like 12 p.m. at night, I'm like, well, what happened in Avalon? Did it rain out? And so that's a bit frustrating. But yeah, so this weekend is a big one. I always feel, Binny, Warrnambool's opening night. As soon as Warrnambool has their first night, straight away, you think classic. You just think,
yeah,
who's going to go good there? Like last year, for example, Jock Goodgie went out and won, and everyone was like, oh, Jock's going to be good for the classic. And there he goes. He went on to win prelim night 2 or something.
yeah,
So it's going to be a really good field. It's probably going to be Avalon plus a few. We know Ryan Newton's, it's his first race back in the country since his awesome big American trip. And I think we might see a few more SA cars maybe make the trip because you can't not get enough laps at Premier Speedway.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Premier Speedway is one of those tracks, and normally on the first night the track's great. So you're looking to come there, Max's race, eh? That'll be like your first time in a while being there.
Yeah, so I think the last time I was there was Max's race, or they called it Max's race. I think it was one of the first years they sort of ran it.
Yeah.
But it was like the twin feature night, and I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it was two 25-lap feature races, and Trevor Green won both of them. Um,
Trevor. What do you mean
but
he started off polling both, or how'd that work?
I don't remember how the format worked. I was just
Yeah.
in awe of being there, and
Yeah.
that was the first time I had actually seen Formula 500s
As well?
run like fully run. Like Parramatta didn't really run them that much, or when
Yeah,
they did, they
okay.
only had like five or six. Whereas this night, it was like majority of the pits were Formula 500s. It was like a massive night.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was just cool to see them rip around. And at that stage, I think we sat over like just near Mount Max, but we sat like down the bottom. So all I was really seeing for a little bit was just the top of the wings go past.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the person I was with, we went and sat. She knew someone over in the members stand, so we went and sat up in the members stand. And I was just like, "This is so cool!"
Warrnambool,
Like,
it's a very special place. Like, you see Perth motorplexes, you see when Sydney was great, but when Warrnambool's on and you're there, you're just like, this is Warrnambool, man. Like, it's so cool. Doesn't matter, I think, where you watch from. Like, honestly,
yeah,
you can stand in turn one and just get happy Gilmore, and I love it. I've been hit in the throat so many times. I think last time I went there opening, like, I hit in the line, I couldn't see for like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, I'm done. And then there's been other times where I snuck around to the tent land, never been there. I was like, what is all this about tent land? Oh, is it that bad? Stood there and just got hit and killed. And then I was filming one time and got hit in the throat, and you see me dropping the camera. Like, just got hit in the throat. But it's no joke, turn one and two at Warrnambool. And it's probably one of the most intense start of a race. Every race at Warrnambool is going into turn one there. I don't
yeah,
know. It's just the shape of the track and how it sort of like come out, and then you've got the pit gate. So sometimes there's a lump there because that's where the guys roll in and out. So it's like whoosh, into the corner, and you can literally see them like hop in there, and they're just not lifting. And I'm like, that is wild if you get to see those type of nights. But strong field, and I think I'm going to touch on it again. He won at Avalon, but Denny Pestka, man, he is literally a guy. I think he is. People don't give him as much, but Daniel Pestka has done so many laps, done World Series, and when the Stark combo and Pestka is on, they are a threat. In doesn't matter how big the field is around the country, like they're a top car. That 27,
I reckon that 27 car for as long as I remember. I reckon he's won a feature race every year.
easy, yeah, multiple for
Yeah,
sure.
like I reckon he's won a feature race every year, and I know that they're based in sort of that, like sort of their home track would be Mount Gambier. Is it Mount
I
Gambier
think it's
or
Murray Bridge.
Murray Bridge? That's it.
Mm.
Like I think a lot of his race like feature wins he would have there, but I'm pretty sure he's picked up a win
He
pretty much
wins it.
everywhere he's gone.
He's very good at Warrnambool. He won a race last year. I think he won Max's race last year.
Yeah,
I'll double check that. But yeah, Avalon. He's always really competitive at Warrnambool, borderline. Those three, he's that car, and they do a lot of laps around there. And yeah, he did World Series for a long time, man. I don't know, like he's done a lot of laps around the country. So the Stark and Pestka combo is one to definitely look out all year still. It's one of those cars where, people go, oh yeah, and then he wins, you go, oh yeah. Like,
yeah,
well, no shit. They're good. Like
yeah.
they're not it was a fluke tonight. No, Pestka and Stark car is ripper. Like they
It's
can
like
get the
when
job done.
it's like when mates used to roll up to Parramatta back in the days where Veal was
Who?
good. Like my mates would rock up to
Oh yeah,
Parramatta
yeah, yeah.
and they would see Veal's car and they'd be like, "Oh, it's got no sponsors. Like he's gonna be nowhere. Like he's gonna be shit. He's gonna be at the back." And it's
How'd
just
that
that
go for
logic
you?
of they don't follow the sport, so they got no idea.
Yeah,
And
and
then
he
you
just
rock
goes
up,
zap, 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 zap.
yeah,
Like, what is
just
this?
like doesn't matter where he starts, he can get back up front and like Yeah, I feel Pesker's car would be one of those as well for people that don't see it very often.
Yeah, they
They
aren't
see
as
the car and
hardcore into the social
yeah,
media or following it like we do. It's like, well, no, like this team's good, bro. Like
yeah,
this is a top team that can win. You put them in the, yeah, I think you put the Stark and Pesca combo within the first 3 rows. Is there a chance?
yeah.
Like I think they're red hot cracking. You actually touched something on Parramatta. You remember, okay, the dominance Jamie Veal had over that period. Like it was legit felt like a mini shots run.
Yeah.
Veal. Like and it just that year I think he went on to win the classic and everything, right? But I wanted to ask you, right, if Parramatta was still around, out of the young guys or the new batch or just the whole batch we have now, because it's very different to when Parramatta was open, who would you want to see or do you think run really good at Parramatta City Raceway?
I've got two names on my head right now.
On it?
So
I
the
can't see it. Where are they?
no, so the first would probably be Jock.
Yeah,
I
okay.
feel like Jock would be a
I
ripper
I
around
think
there.
he's maybe done like early laps here. I'm not 100% sure, but he
Yeah,
was around that period where it was maybe just open or like about to finish, and he might have got some laps there.
yeah. So I reckon he would be a ripper around there. But the other guy, off the back of his like Lernerville and all these sort of tracks he ran over there, is probably Newton.
Yeah,
Like all
cool.
those sorts of tracks he was running, like a lot of them looked like they didn't really have a wall like right there. It
Yeah.
was sort of that like that trotting track like Parramatta had. So I
Mm-mm.
feel like coming off the back of that, he would have been strong there. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I don't know about Lockie McHugh whether he would do any good there. But yeah, Parramatta's a weird place, man. Like one week you can be fast as hell around there, and then the next week you're at the back and struggling. And that cushion used to bite. Like it didn't you didn't just crash your car there. You
You
rode your
junked
car
it.
off when you
Yeah,
yeah,
you junked it. Like, yeah, agreed.
like it was
I,
scary.
I honestly, see, I'm the opposite. I think McHugh with the Nick Speed combo would be electric. All the
Yeah.
laps they did with Robbie Farr there were very successful. And McHugh had run there previously, like in his own 23 car. I think the Lockie McHugh car would be a cracker there. And I still think Veely would be a weapon right now. Like it'd be
Yeah.
Jamie Veal like still at the top. Because once you're at a track like that and you're good, you're good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they did a lot of laps there. And yeah, I think they would be out of the batch. And I would love to see, you would have seen them competing against Marcus, who's done a lot of laps there. Matt Dumsney, who's done a lot of laps there. Like Jordan Brazier, we used to rip around there and do laps with the Sayers and the Caunts and all those
Yeah.
type of guys. Like it would have been right now with how good the new crop has come through, plus the handover we're going through now. I feel like we are. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
would have been sick, and I think. Oh, and you can't come. You can't tell me Kerry Madsen and Don Baker wouldn't have ripped there too. Like. He was a weapon around Parramatta. So, yeah, I just think we just missed out on a really cool window for Parramatta.
Yeah.
Like that close, you know what I mean? So, talk about social media posts and that, all right? I seen one the other day. David Gravel posted with Rico like, hey, mate, congrats on the championship. Maybe one day we'll race against each other for one or something like that. Like, was that a pure rage bait tweet, like post? Do you think, or like, do you think in the next few years someone's gonna jump ship?
Maybe a little bit of a rage bait. Like,
I think
I,
it is 100%.
Rico and Larson are pretty close, so maybe it's just like a little bite back and sort of, I don't know, like a little backhanded like sort of post to sort of Larson to be like, oh yeah, he's got a high limits championship running full time, and Larson's off doing his NASCAR and not really doing anything. So I don't know. That's me looking at it in that
Not really
aspect.
doing anything. He's like in the top 4 of the Cup Series right now, bro. Going for the championship. What do you mean
He's
he's
not
not
going for the
doing it?
championship, is he?
Was it? Yeah, I think he's in the top
Oh, yeah,
4.
he's in the top 4. Yeah,
Yeah,
never mind, never
watch
mind, never mind,
yourself.
never
Yeah, he's
mind.
doing nothing. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
well, he
just
hasn't. he hasn't won in a while. So
And we're saving it. That's a goal last was special, mate. You know what he
yeah.
needs to roll out? Just a full white car. Bring out the Great White and the NASCAR. And just let him go. Like, let him eat. You just play the...
I love that. I love that black and gold car they've got lately.
Oh, yeah, that was sick, yeah.
That is mean.
So, I think about the post, right? Pure just, click frenzy, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I jumped at it. We're talking about it now. But do we honestly think someone's going to jump? Or, if we ever get a merger between the two, there's pros and cons. Let's say Outlaws and High Limit say, nah, we're going to do it. Which I don't think they will, because egos and history and people in charge and don't want their job to change or whatever. But, okay, pros. If they join the series, there's no reason why they shouldn't be racing for 20,000 a race. Right? Well, they're racing for 10. They're racing for 10. At least 15. The charter system has to come to the Outlaws. No shit. That is just ripping for what High Limit are doing. I just think everything High Limit are doing for the teams and that versus Outlaws have to change, or like it'll just become High Limit series. Like they're doing so much over there with the Outlaws. It's like, well, it's just a High Limit series, but branded Outlaws High Limit or whatever.
Yeah.
So if formats are different, whose format would budge? Would it stay the Outlaws fastest to the front of their heat and go after qualifying? Versus I absolutely love, and the fans do, every heat has that little bit of a drama in the High Limit. Quickest guy there. If he drops back to fifth, this guy has to win, or second, and or if he goes quick time, wins his heat, he's off pole. Like, there's just this more when you're in the night. Once you're like, oh, there's more, like on the stakes each race. I think in High Limit side versus Outlaws, like, yeah, well, what's the odds of a guy off pole not winning or coming top 4? Like, that's rarely gonna happen unless they're doing it. But I think then your races with High Limit and Outlaws, every race you win now is way more important, because it's like, hey, you beat everyone. Because you see on social media now, I disagree though. If you win a High Limit feature now, that's amazing. If you win a World of Outlaws feature now, that is amazing as well. But people are like, oh, who did he beat? Who did Gravel beat? Like, or who did Rico beat? That's like, you can't escape it. But when one wins like Eldora, when one wins Knoxville Nationals, and when someone wins Williamsgate National Open, it's like, oh, he beat the best.
Yeah.
Like, they beat the best. Like, he's the champ. So, no. And we've seen it this year. Ironman 55. Car count was like the lowest. Like, no High Limit guy went there. I don't know. And they were like running the 360 Nationals because they're like, oh, it's Ironman 55. Well, that's the Outlaw show. We don't need it.
Yeah.
Which I felt like, I honestly didn't really. I watched the 360 National more. I don't know if it's because the names of the High Limit guys are more like there right now.
Yeah.
Where, like, you turned on this late in the year, it's like Buddy Cofield, Dave Gravel.
Is the High Limits more there right now, or is it just because Australia is so invested in High Limits because of Perth?
Maybe. You've
got
a very fair point there.
It'd be interesting to see what, I don't know, what the American listeners or people watching this, if you're an American, like what their thoughts are. Like, is it High Limits all the way over there, or is it just, I want to go watch racing? They don't care whether it's High Limits or Outlaws. And like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like both of them have some pretty big drivers that aren't like easy to beat or anything like that.
Agreed. The only thing I will say is, I tried to watch every race I could this year, Outlaws and High Limit. I did find myself just waiting for the qualifying maybe. I watched an Outlaws, and then I'd just flick off, probably watch High Limit, because their shows run a bit quicker. I felt like I was watching all the heats and whatever. But then I would just wait for the Outlaw feature, because all the stuff in between is like that straight up stuff is like predictable.
Yeah.
He starts off the pole in that heat. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like just when I'm watching, but you bring up a very fair point there. Like, are we just more invested because we see these guys on our tracks, in our faces more, and the brand High Limit's cool and new, and I will say, I don't know. I just think high limit's fresh and new. It's just me. I think I'm that kid at the candy store that I'm picking the shiny thing versus the Outlaws. But
Yeah,
even at the World Finals now, like Gravel's won it. Like it's like I'll watch probably the last. I'll probably watch the features, but
yeah,
through the whole weekend, like there's no drama, and I can see why so many motorsports now have gone to playoff system because of
yeah,
this. Like if we were right now, if we were talking about it was Buddy Cofield versus David Gravel versus I don't know Sheldon Honshaw this weekend, it's like oh every lap counts, let's go. Like, but
yeah.
we're just not. So
Yeah. And
and now
moving sort of away from Outlaws, you look at someone that's just implemented a playoff system like Supercars, and I feel as though Supercars is probably in their best sort of like
I
coming off Bathurst. I think Supercars is in their best sort of period right now.
I put my hand up. I'd never watched Supercars, watched Bathurst, and now I'm like, oh yeah, the playoffs, cool. I tuned in a bit this
Yeah,
weekend, and then I was like, oh,
like
Kostecki kicked out. What happened? Then I looked into it. Why was he kicked out? Who's still
yeah.
left in there? So it got me, and I don't watch Supercars.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like, and Supercars is a bit of a sport where they can play sort of the team game of holding people up to let the teammate get in front and stuff like that. And I thought we were going to see that come into play. I thought it was going to be the Tickford boys working together to make sure Tom Randall got in, but it
No, they
didn't work
let
out.
they let him on the radio. They're like, let Walters through, let him through, and I'm like,
Yeah,
hang on a second, doesn't they want to help this guy?
yeah,
Nah. Like
and
that's cutthroat. So that just shows they're like, well, Cam's got more chance of winning everything than you, bud. Get out of the
yeah,
way. So,
yeah,
and that's a good
and
teammate. He's doing his job, but man, he must have been burning. Oh, that
yeah,
must have been hard.
but and like. I'm just imagining, like, if Outlaws did do a playoff system or High Limits did a playoff system, like, imagine coming down to imagine the round, like, Rico and Sweet going for the championship or in High Limits with a playoff.
We sort of had that with how close it is in
Yeah,
points, but but you just go. But what about the whole next 10 years? What about what we're watching in the Outlaws now?
yeah,
Like what about it? Because like now, right now, I tell you right now, I've tuned off the Outlaws because I tuned off the Outlaws probably 3 months ago because I knew like I didn't have to watch it that close. Gravel was going to win. We knew back in Whoop Whoop, I called it. Like oh, it's over now. I mean, I hope Buddy Cofield comes out next year and starts Ripper. He just needs those starts and like he's good, but he wins so many features, but just can't get Gravel at the moment. So, but yeah, I don't know. Then you also got you're an F1 guy. We can dive into that. Championship starting to heat up there with no playoff system. But it's
yeah.
still like it's heating up, but it's like everyone's wanting it to get tighter. You know what I mean? But it's like it's not yet.
I think it's. I think it's getting hot in the McLaren kitchen. That's for sure.
Oh, big
Like,
time.
that
Yeah.
is what is going to. That is what I think. That's what's going to decide that championship is that inter team dilemma, and
Agreed.
it would be a dilemma if I was Zach Brain or Andreas Stellis, the two sort of big guys at McLaren, and making those decisions of what car gets to take the lead as they go out for
It's
qualifying to get the
crazy,
draft.
bro.
Like
Crazy.
all that sort of stuff is yeah, it's under the microscope by fans as well. Like fans are noticing, and I don't know. I'm an Aussie. I'm gonna be like Oscar Piastri, but I don't know whether there is favouritism or whether it's just unfortunate things to go wrong, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, we're being stuffed over again because Webber and all our Aussies that have been in the championship hunt before have
Yeah.
had things go wrong as well.
Agreed.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think honestly, if you're a Max Verstappen fan, you're hoping the two McLarens crash out in the next two races just to sort of spice things up and make it a little bit closer.
Yep.
Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. I think it's going
Yeah.
to be Oscar Orlando. I'll say it now. I think whoever wins this year won't win next year. I think the other will win next year. I think that's the type
Why is
of.
that? Why is that?
I think that's the type of attitude. Lando lost the championship last year to Max. And I think that has really switched him on to be like, I've got to be more consistent. I've got to be more head on, concentrate on what I'm doing. And I think Oscar got that championship lead over Lando, and Lando had a couple of bad races.
Yep.
And Oscar just went into, oh, yep, I'm the best driver out there. Like, there's no stopping me.
Yep.
And sort of got a little bit cocky for his own good. Like, and I think I think that's what makes the championship. You got to go through that little bit of trouble and sort of adversity, losing a championship to come back and win another.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Lando wins this year, and I think Oscar comes out next year and wins next year's championship.
I'm the same though. For you and your sake, and for me, perfect example right now. I am watching NASCAR and checking up on NASCAR, and I'm checking up on supercars because it is all right. Got to watch next week again.
Yeah,
It's not where at right now Outlaws and F1. I'm like, F1 will crash it out. It doesn't hurt them too much. Like where Oscar and all that crashed in the week before, like they're still in the league championship. It's like, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at, and I'm slowly leaning to as I think we should all have playoffs. Stuff it. Like I hope if we get something in Australia again, Sprintcar Series, start it, rip the band-aid off, and go. We are having a playoff series. I don't care because that's only going to up the stream numbers, up people going to live events because you can't miss it. Like, will your guy survive this weekend? And like, it's just so good. Like, if the Outlaws did it next year, probably Gravel would be the only one to cry. All the rest would be like, okay, because they want a chance to beat him. You know what I mean? Where he's going to go, oh no, you can't give these guys a chance. They're good. I'm just better overall every year.
yeah.
But those guys can spank my ass on the night, but don't give them like a chance at a series. And then he goes, then it's like, we're going to go run high limit and see how you go.
Yeah, well, look at the likes of Christopher Bell in NASCAR.
Yeah,
he dominated the last couple of seasons. Like some of those races,
could have had like multiple championship years. Yeah,
yeah, like he could have gone back to back. That's how good he was the last few years. But that playoff system just didn't work in his favor, and it's not like they're getting one crack. Like the playoff series for NASCAR is 4 goes.
yeah.
Supercars is a little bit more cutthroat. You've basically only got a couple of goes to make your shot and sort of get it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think a playoff system in any sort of series, national series, for Speedway would be the way to go.
Because I remember you were a bit iffy when I first brought this up a few months ago. You're like, oh, I don't know. But now you've seen it in a sport you're very invested in. And you're like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like,
yeah, but Benny doesn't like change at all.
yeah, well, that's where the new series wouldn't be changed. It's just new.
But it's still change.
Well, what? Having no national series?
Yeah, you know how adamant I was that when Parramatta closed not to go to the new track.
Really?
You know who was there opening night?
You. Bro, do you remember that run turn 3? That was insane.
I sat right on the exit of turn 3. We were getting absolutely peppered.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fast. The track was just so fast. The shape of it, remember? It was just like a constant oval running it, ringing every motor's tits off. All right, bro. Well, I think that'll do us. It's been a really good episode. It's been pretty direct, straightforward. Oh, hand is up.
Who's your pick for what?
Yes, Speed Winnie.
Who's your pick for Warrnambool and Perth?
Top 3. Can I give you top 3? I don't like picking one.
No, you got to pick one.
No, I'm picking top 3. I want to do like a box trifecta. Let me do a box trifecta.
All right, come on.
Can I, please? And I think I'm going to be on the goods. Okay, so Warrnambool box trifecta will be Jock Goodyear, Ryan Newton, Jamie Veal. And my Perth box trifecta is going to be Dane Kingshot, Callum Williamson, Is Manders running? Have we seen anything?
I haven't seen anything.
Need to double check this.
Motorplex posted the nomination.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna check right now. I posted on my story. Hello, Chris. How are you?
Hello, Coney. A little shout out to Coney.
Yeah, to the goat.
Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. Hi, Zach. Hi, Maisie.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Perth put it out. You said on Maddington.
Pretty sure it was Perth Motorplex. Put the nominations on.
Sprint car entries. No, they are not running. So what is? We have to find out the goss of what's actually gone down. I think I know the Mandarin.
Well, you've pretty much gone.
Okay, wait. So, all right. Well, I'm thinking about it now. It's going to be Dane Kingshot. This is box, no winning order. Just Dane Kingshot, Callum Williamson. And after being there last week and feeling the vibe of my testes, Taylor Milling, he deserves it. He'll be in it. Yep, they're the three.
Pretty generic top three for motorbikes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be right. It's not generic when it's right. Go on then. Where's your go Warrnambool?
Warrnambool, I had the same three as you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, then you can't do it. You got to pick someone different. Stuff here.
What?
Yeah, what? What are you talking about?
No, I've pretty much got the exact same people as you. All right, I'll throw some different names out there.
Okay, go.
I'm still using Jock. I'm keeping Jock. Pestka, Milburn.
Milburn for Warrnambool. Okay. I didn't say it had to be all changed, but
no, that's
Milburn,
my top three
Pestka,
there.
Jock. Okay, yeah, and
then I'm sorry, but I've got to use the two you've already got there. Cal, Kingshot.
Yeah.
Gonna throw Smokey out there. Kendrick.
Yeah, he was pushing it. He was pushing a really good podium. It looked like he had speed, and it's just like the car just near the end of it.
But I tell you what, if Coyle can get that car to the front again,
yeah. Shit, I forgot about him.
He's going to be Ripper, and I think Kingshot's going to find it hard to chase him down.
Wow, you say the quickie car? Okay, all right.
That car was. You got to admit that car was
flying. It was flying.
And I think if he starts off the front again, and if Cricky has that night where they're all over the place and they start sort of towards the rear, it's going to be Coyle dominating.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. How much? Very nice. I like it.
The cookie crumbles.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Thanks a lot, San Diego.
And those tiny little nipples went to France.
Oh, we get lost again. Was that Bruce Almighty? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Bruce
Almighty.
Almighty.
Guys, well, again, thanks to Eliminator Race Wings and BK Racing Performance Products. Anyone else that wants to get on board with the podcast or Coleman Racing, anything we're doing, we're going to be doing so much traveling this year. We're going to be trying to separate even the teams. Some boys on the West Coast, some boys on the East Coast. We want to really try travel and bring as much media as we can to this awesome sport we have, sprint car racing. So yeah, if anyone wants to get on board, let us know, and we'll promote your brand as best we can, because that's what we do, Binny. We push for the stars and support everyone. So thank you so much, and 6-7.